Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, class. How are you today? Good. I'm great. Thank you. Today, we're going to learn about how to help people when they have a problem. We're going to learn how to make suggestions. Okay? Okay, well, my students, by the end of this class, you will be able to give you helpful suggestions for different everyday problems. Okay? Are you ready? Okay, excellent. Let's begin. Okay, please look around the classroom we have for different corners: school, health, technology, and friends. You point to each corner as you name it. I'm going to read a problem. You have to listen carefully and move to the corner that matches the problem. For example, if I said, I have a headache, which corner should you choose? Exactly, you should move to the health corner. When you arrive at the corner, tell to the partner and think of one possible solution. Okay? Is that clear? Great. Please stand up. Listen carefully. I spend too much time on my phone. Please go to the corner. Excellent. Now talk to the person next to you. What can this person do? You have 20 seconds for thinking about one solution. Okay? Okay. So who has an idea? Use the phone less. Okay, very good. We can say you should use your phone less. Very good. Okay, the next problem is I'm worried about my exams. Please go to the corner. Okay, very good. Talk to the partner. What can this person do? Or what can the student do? Okay, good. A complete suggestion is you should study more. Exactly. Okay, the third situation is I don't get along with my best friend. Okay, please move to that or go to the corner. Okay, very good. Please talk to the partner about what can this person do. Very good. You could talk to your friends. Very good. You could talk to your friends, sorry. And the last one is I feel tired all the time. What is a possible solution for this situation? What is a possible solution? Excellent. You should sleep more. Very good, everyone. Please return to your seats. Please return to the seats. All the sent to give were suggestions. Now, let's learn different expressions we can use to make suggestions. Okay? Please. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna show you expressions for making suggestions. Okay, everyone, let's review some useful expression for making suggestion. Okay. Okay. In this table, we have three columns: the expression, the structure, and example. Okay, let's look at them one by one. Okay. First, we have you could. The structure is could plus the base verb. For example, here we have you could exercise more. In this case, remember, after could, we don't use to or ing. We say you could exercise. Okay? Okay, let's move to how about. Next, we have how about. This expression is different because we use a verb ending in ing. We use a verb ending in ing. The structure is how about plus verb in ing and the question mark. Remember, this expression is a question. For example, it's like a question. For example, we have, how about exercise more? How about exercise more? So, do we say, how about exercise more? It's how about exercising more? Remember, we need to use verb in ing. How about exercise more? Exercise more? Remember, don't we say, how about exercise more? No. Correct, we say, how about exercising more? Okay? The next expression is, why not? Why not plus the base verb. For example, is why not exercise more? After why not, we use the verb without to. Why not exercise more? Why not exercise more? Remember, after why not, we use the verb without to. We use the verb without to, remember. Now, let's look at you should. We use it when we think something is a good idea. We use when we think something is a good idea. For example, we have should. For example, we have the structure is like this: should plus the base verb. Should plus the base verb. For example, we have you should exercise more. You should exercise more with the base verb. You should exercise more. Okay. Let's move to the negative form of should, which is you shouldn't. You shouldn't. For example, we use it when we think something is not a good idea. Okay, something is not a good idea. The structure is shouldn't plus the base verb. It's similar to the a positive form. Okay, for example, we have you shouldn't eat so much sugar. You shouldn't eat so much sugar. You shouldn't eat so much sugar. Notice that after shouldn't, we also use the base verb. Exactly. We also remember we also use the base form of the verb. You shouldn't eat so much sugar. And the next expression is why don't you? Although it looks like a question, we use it to give a friendly suggestion. For example, why don't you? For example, the structure is why don't you plus the base verb? Why don't you plus the base verb in the question mark? Remember, it's a question. For example, why don't you exercise more? Why don't you exercise more? Why don't you exercise more? Okay. Now we have I suggest. One possible structure is I suggest plus verb in ing. For example, I suggest exercising more. I suggest exercising more. I suggest exercising more. Remember, we don't normally say I suggest to exercise. We don't normally say that. I suggest exercise more. Exercise more with ing. We can also say I suggest that you. I suggest that you plus the base verb. For example, I suggest that you exercise more. Okay? Now, let's check which expressions are followed by the base verb. We have you could, why not, you should, you shouldn't, and we don't you. Why don't you? Okay? Ya se me fue. ¿Dónde se me fue? No sé dónde se me fue. No sé dónde se me fue, nene. Se me fue. No. Se me fue. Ay, anclar, pues, tengo que poner anclar. Se me fue. Ay, ya, ya. Espera un momentito. Aquí está. Se me fue. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now let's check. Okay, now let's check which expressions are followed by the base verb. Which expressions are followed by the base verb? You could, why not, you should, you shouldn't, and why don't you? Okay, which expressions are followed by verb ending in ing? For example, we have a how about, suggest. All those two expressions can use verb and ing. Okay. Excellent work. Now that we have reviewed the structure, let's practice using them with different everyday problems. Okay? Okay. Now you're gonna work, okay, please, in this activity, you're gonna work in pairs. Each pair will receive situation cards. Here we have situation cards, different situation cards, and expression cards. Okay? You show one example cards. First, read the problem. Second, choose one expression. And third, create a complete and logical suggestion. Okay? You write a sample, please. For example, the problem is I'm worried about my exams. And the expression that we have is you could. And that suggestion will be you could make a study schedule, for example. Your suggestion must be grammatically correct and helpful. You have 5 minutes for completing. Please begin. Okay, where is your problem? Okay, which expression did you choose? Good, complete your suggestion. You should saving money. Almost remembered. After should, we use the base verb. After should, we use the base verb. Try again. Okay, you should save money. Excellent. How about go to the doctor? Remember, after, how about we need to use the base form of the verb. The base form of the verb, okay? Muy bien, very good. No, how about we need to use verb, remember, after, okay. How about walk to the doctor? Remember, after, how about what form do we need to do, that we need to use? Exactly, verb and ing. How about going to the doctor? Perfect. Time's up. Listen to some suggestions per number 1. Please read your problem and suggestions, okay, please? I have a headache, okay? You should drink some water. Excellent, very good. Is that suggestion grammatically? This suggestion is grammatically correct. Okay, excellent. Another bird. Okay, I don't get along with my best friend. Okay. Why don't you talk to your friend calmly? Exactly, excellent pronunciation. A very helpful suggestion. Why don't you talk to your friend calmly? Exactly. Okay, now it's time for our main game. The main game is spin and suggest. Spin and suggest. Here we have is a spin. Okay, please form groups of 4 students. Form groups of 4 students. Okay, each group needs two wheels. Each group needs two wheels, situations, cards, and scores. Okay, listen carefully to the instruction. Please listen carefully to the instructions. Step 1, spinning wheel. This wheel gives the topic. This wheel gives the topic, such as sports, healthy, school, or a personal route, and something like that. Okay. Okay, you point. Okay, you point to the second roulette wheel. Step 2, spill. You need to spill the wheel too. You need to spill the wheel too. This wheel gives you the expression you must use. The expression you must use. For example, we had why not, you shouldn't, you should, and something like that. Okay. Step 3. Another student takes one read situation. Here we have card situation. For example, we have I had too much homework. This suggestion is related to the topic, related to your topic. Okay. And the step 5 is the rule checks 3 things: your right or grammar, relevance, and helpfulness. If the suggestion is correct, relevant, and helpful, the player earns 1 point. You can also earn 1 bonus point if you explain your suggestion using because. Okay, let's do one example together. For example, I was first. Okay, technology. Okay, my expression is if I were you. Okay, no. My expression is you should. Okay, you should spend my situation, and then I take my card. You take a card. Okay. For example, here we have. Ahí le pongo yo. Okay, here we have. I spent too much time on my phone. And my suggestion is you should. And my expression is you should. Okay. Limit my screen time because too much phone use can affect my sleep. Okay, this is an example. Too much, for example, you should limit my screen time because too much phone use can affect my sleep. Okay, was my sentence grammatically correct? Yes. Was it related to the problem? Yes. What is helpful? Yes. Did you use because? So I get 2 points. Remember, here we have I get 2 points because I used the word because. Okay. Okay. What does will to give you? How many points do you receive for a correct suggestions? Yeah, you receive 1 point. How can you get a bonus point? Yeah, excellent. By using because. Excellent. You have 15 minutes. Everyone must participate and roulette rolls. Okay, let's start. Remember to speak in English. Use complete sentence. Remember, use complete sentence. Please check the expression on the wheel. What forms come after it? How about? What forms come after how about? Is that suggestion helpful? Can you explain your reason using because? Excellent suggestion, good idea, but check the verb. Try again more time. Try one more time. Remember, should plus base verb. Everyone needs to, and then remember it. In this activity, everyone needs to participate. Okay? So remember this. What form comes after? How about? Verb and ing. And should with and should plus base verb. Okay? Okay, okay, please. The first student, the topic is health. Okay, your topic is health. And the expression is you should. You should again. Okay? Okay, please. The expression is you should. And the card is I can't sleep at night. I can't sleep at night. I can't sleep at night. Please go ahead. Okay? You should stop using your phone before bed. Okay? Okay, please, student. Excellent. You should stop using your phone before bed. It's correct and helpful. Okay, you receive 1 point. You will receive 1 point. We'll receive 1 point. Okay? Okay, another person, please. Okay? The wheel. Friends. We have friends. Okay? And the expression is why don't you? The expression is why don't you? Okay? Are you ready? Okay. I feel, okay, please. And the card is, I feel shy when I talk to new people. Okay, I feel shy when I talk to you, when I talk to new people. Please go ahead. Okay. Okay, why? Why don't you practice? Okay, why don't you practice talking to one new person every day? Oh, excellent. Why don't you practice talking to one new person every day? Correct. Your group received 1 point. Okay, the next group, please. Okay, let's start with the next group. School. No, not a school. Sorry. In the next group, friends. Friends again. And this situation is, and your expression is, how about? Your expression is, how about? Your expression is, how about? Okay? Okay, let's start. How about starting with a friend? Please check the structure. What comes after how about? How about? Exactly, verb and ing. Please try again. How about starting with a friend? Excellent correction. Remember, after how about, we need to use verb and ing. Okay. Okay, you have 1 more minute. Finish your final round. 3, 2, 1. Put your cards on the wheel on the table. Who go to the higher school in each group? Okay, congratulations. But remember, the most important thing is that everyone practice giving. You have 1 more minute. Finish your final round. Okay, 3, 2, 1, stop. Put your cards on the wheels, on the table. Okay, who got the highest score in each group? Okay, congratulations. But remember, the most important thing is that everyone practice giving helpful suggestions. Okay, before you leave, you're going to receive a complete and exit ticket. Write one everyday problem and one helpful suggestion. You must use an expression that you didn't use during your last turn in the game. For example, problem, I feel tired every morning. The suggestion is, how about going to the bed earlier? I feel tired every morning. How about going to the bed earlier? Remember to check your grammar. You have 2 minutes, okay? Time's up. Who would like to share? Okay, please. Yes, I'm not in good shape. You could exercise 3 times a week. I'm not in good shape. You could exercise 3 times a week. Excellent suggestion. I have too many things to do. If I were you, I will make a list is one example. Very good. Okay, which expressions was the easiest to use? Should, white. Yes, it's simple. Okay, good. Okay, now which expression was more difficult for you? How about white? Yes, probably because we need to use the verb in ing is something confused. It's some confused for us. Okay, but don't worry. Okay, exactly. Today we learned different ways to make suggestions. Okay, you point out that expressions you should, couldn't, you could, less, why don't you? How about I suggest you could, what about, why not, for example. For homework, write 3 everyday problems and give a different suggestions for each one. You did an excellent job today. Thank you for participating and see you in the next class. Okay, bye.